Welcome to the Dog Nerd Show, where we geek out over our best friends. I'm Megan.
And I'm Michael, and this is a show about all things dog.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us again today. We are so excited because today we talk French bulldogs.
Oh, they are one of the cutest, aren't they?
They are adorable, just handsome little fellas and fillies. So today we are so excited to have Duncan the Frenchie and his mom, Diane.
Yeah, we were able to meet up with them at a event we were at. Megan was signing some books and ran into them, and they were so gracious enough to give us an interview.
Yeah, and Duncan's a little bit of a celebrity. Not only does he have tens of thousands of followers on Instagram, and you can find him at Duncan the Frenchie, he was in a T-Pain music video.
T-Pain music video.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's way cooler than we are.
Oh, absolutely. That's not hard to do, though.
So let's talk about the French Bulldog before we get into the interview. Because we are nerds, we do our research, and we have never had a French Bulldog ourselves, so we wanted to do a little digging.
What did you find?
I found that they are a cross between toy bulldogs and ratters. So in Paris, France, in the 1800s, supposedly they bred toy bulldogs to ratters, and the Frenchie was born. And a little bit more history on that is that during the Industrial Revolution, there were many lace makers who were relocated.
Their jobs became obsolete?
Yes, thank you. So the lace makers in Nottingham moved to Normandy, France, and they took their toy bulldogs with them, and the breed developed from there. So I thought that was interesting.
That is pretty interesting.
Yeah, and one other cool thing about, they became very popular in France, and so French Bulldog, the Frenchies, and the painters Degas and Toulouse-Lautrec apparently painted what people think are Frenchies. You know, some people like to debate, well, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was, but I saw the paintings. They looked pretty darn like Frenchies to me.
Well, ooh la la. That's all the French I know, so.
All right, so let's get into the interview with Diane and Duncan the Frenchie. We're here with Duncan the Frenchie and Diane, and let's talk Frenchies. So Duncan is beautiful, for one.
Thank you.
What should we know about Frenchies if someone is thinking about adding one to their family?
They're really awesome dogs. They love to be with you. They don't really like to be left alone very, very often. And they're just snuggle bugs, like Duncan. He is very food oriented, so he's easier to train. I think some of them can be a little more difficult to train because they are on the bully breed. They snore a little bit. He doesn't snore at night. He mostly snores if he's in my lap or on the couch. He doesn't snore when he goes to night.
It's almost like he's purring.
Yes. And right now he is. He's not snoring yet. He's purring, but he's getting ready to.
Aww. Those eyes are getting heavy.
They do shed a little bit. They don't shed terrible, but they do shed.
Okay.
You have to clean their little wrinkles under their eyes, and you have to put cream on their nose. I usually clean his paws because they can have allergies.
Okay.
We have him on a frozen raw diet because we had some allergies with kibble.
Okay.
Not all of them have to be, but we had him tested and just decided to go that way. Duncan has actually had heart surgery and back surgery.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. He had a heart murmur when he was born that we knew, and we thought it was going to be an innocent one, and it just didn't. And I don't think it was anything to do with the breeder, because my daughter his half brother has no issues, and then we know other people that have from. I think it was just a hit or miss thing, but they can have health issues, more so allergies and stuff like that. The breed is known for IVDD, which is the back disease.
Okay. Intervertebral disc disease,
yes,
right?
Thank you.
I actually know what that is.
Yes.
And I mean, is that what he has?
That is what he had.
Okay.
Yes. It's not all of them are going to have that. Some of them are going to have no issues whatsoever.
Okay.
But you just have, you need to be aware that could possibly happen.
And was that something more genetic, or was that caused by an incident?
No, Duncan was never, it's usually caused by jumping on the furniture or doing stairs. Duncan is allowed on the furniture, but it's when we pick him up and put him up there or put him down. He's never allowed to he's never done stairs except for the 5 stairs we have going down into the yard.
Okay.
But, I mean, but that's, so it can be it can be somewhat genetics.
Okay.
Brody, my daughter's dog, does stairs, jumps on the furniture, off the furniture, has no like
problems.
I said, has no issues. So.
And you said you got him from a breeder.
We did.
So was that somebody local or?
We got him in Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're big proponents of good breeders here who
Yes.
vet the owners and make sure that you got to meet at least the mom dog.
We met the mom, the dad, and Duncan was the last puppy, so we didn't meet the puppy, but we went to their place. It was very nice, and that's why I say I think it was just hit or miss with him, because the puppies were very well taken care of. I've heard horror stories of them potty training. Duncan was potty trained within 3 weeks, so they were working with him.
Yeah.
They were definitely working with him. My daughter actually had done all the hard work because she got hers first, and so all I had to do was kind of show up and check it out for myself because she had already investigated.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so he is food motivated, so he was easy to train. But are they known to be stubborn?
They can be stubborn.
Okay.
They can be stubborn. In fact, my trainers, I've had an American Bulldog, I've had an Old English Bulldog, and I've had Duncan.
Wow.
And my trainer says, "Are you just a glutton for punishment?" But it's just something about, it's just something. And with him, luckily, like I said, he is so food motivated.
Yes.
So
So was he easier to train than the others, would you say?
they were all of mine were pretty food motivated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got lucky.
So I got lucky, yeah.
Is there anything else we should know? I know this breed has become very popular as of late. Is there anything we should know about the breed in general? If people are thinking of getting them, are they good in a house and an apartment?
They are definitely good in the house, in the apartment. They don't hardly need any exercise.
Okay.
Like in the summertime, you have to really watch out because they will overheat. I've heard too that even in the wintertime, it's that the cold, they can't take cold well.
Okay.
Which he wears sweatshirts and stuff, so I wouldn't know. But the heat is the main thing. The heat
Okay.
is the main thing.
So the heat for sure, and then that's probably why I see so many Frenchies wearing clothes, is that to keep them warm in the winter as well, because they don't have a ton of fur. Now, did I ask or did you say if they shed?
They do shed somewhat.
Okay.
They don't shed.
I think you did say that.
Right, they do. Some people think they don't shed because they have short hair. They do not. They're not, and it's not terrible shedders, but they do shed.
Yeah,
they
do shed. And barking. The Frenchies I've met don't have much of a bark compared to my dogs. Are they big barkers?
Duncan doesn't bark. I think they either bark or don't bark.
Okay.
I think it's either or. He barks if he's startled. Like if he's asleep, then he barks. That's the only time he barks. He does purr. He makes noises 24/7.
Yeah. But
but
no
it's
nuisance
no,
barking
no.
or no crazy.
No.
Someone's breaking into the house and it's really just a bird.
Right. No, nothing like that. He sees birds and he might want to chase them, but he doesn't bark as he chases them.
Okay. Yeah. Wonderful. So you don't have to be super active. You can be in a small or a large house. You should be able to deal with some shedding. You should definitely be cleaning the wrinkles.
Yes.
And allergies and issues like that are something that might pop up.
Right.
Cool. Well, if there's anything else that you want to tell us about this beautiful dog, let us know.
I think we've pretty much covered it all.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, for interviewing us.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh. Is Duncan not the cutest little fella?
He's so cool. So cool.
I mean, I know if you're listening to the podcast, you can't see him, but you should go watch the YouTube video because he is precious. And the purring, I'm hoping.
Is that what that's called?
Well, yeah. So apparently some of them, they all snore to some degree, but they actually do call that a purr. And she was saying that he does that when he's in her arms. And that was so sweet.
Oh, yeah. And if you've never heard, he didn't bark in this video, but if you've never heard their bark, it is the coolest, muted, old man gruff bark I think I've ever heard from a dog. It is very unique to that breed for sure.
Especially when you're like us and you're used to a loud piercing bark. We first saw
heard our neighbor's Frenchie do that, and it was like, whoa, what is that? Oh, it's his bark? It was pretty cool.
Well, so being the dog nerds we are, we did some research. Megan, what did we find out about the French Bulldog that maybe we didn't learn in the interview?
So one thing is, well, I already knew this, but you have to be very careful with them in the heat because they are the short-nosed breed. And I can't pronounce that word that you guys know it. It's like brachia something.
Right.
But they are a short-nosed breed. So any of the short-nosed breeds like pugs and bulldogs and French bulldogs and the like, they have to be very careful in the heat. So they cannot tolerate the heat. And that means you need to walk them in the morning or in the evening. And also, it was noted, don't even leave them in a car that is on a cool day because it takes longer for them, or it's harder for them. Not takes longer, but it's harder for them to cool themselves down because if you don't know this, dogs cool themselves by panting. So that's like the main way for them to cool themselves. And so these dogs have a harder time because of their short snouts.
Well, that's a good fact to know then.
Yeah.
Especially if you're considering this breed.
Yeah. And something I know that we both found surprising was
they don't swim.
Yeah. They don't swim. They will sink, apparently. So correct us if we're wrong and you have a Frenchie that swims. But what we read is that they've got to be in a life jacket or supervised or both if they're near water.
If they're near water, correct. Yeah, and that was very interesting because I always thought, well, all dogs can swim to some extent, but evidently this one cannot, and it needs to be monitored when it's around water.
Yeah, could you imagine how neurotic I would be if we had a Frenchie?
We wouldn't be around water.
And I love water. That would be very difficult. So another thing we want to talk about is that in 2018, the French Bulldog was the most popular breed in the United States and the United Kingdom.
No way. It surpassed the Lab or the Golden?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is with AKC registrations. Mm-hmm. So people are serious Frenchie fanatics. And with that, hopefully you guys listened to episode 3 where we talked about where to get a dog. But with that, you guys have to be very careful if you're considering this breed. Tell us why.
Well, you know that if it's popular, that the people that are milling, we'll call them milling, that are breeding these dogs for money are going to breed more and more of them, and there's going to be health issues.
Yeah. So, we live in such an instant gratification society, and people are like, oh, I think I want to get a dog. I'm going to go and get one. And you'll either go to a store, which we don't want you to do, or you may find a breeder that always has puppies available. That's a red flag because dogs only come into heat sometimes twice a year. And if you have a small, healthy operation, you're not going to have puppies available year round. So just be very, very careful. You're going to have to do your research. You heard Diane say that her daughter was the first one to get a Frenchie, and she did all the legwork and research. Right. And they found a reputable breeder, and they visited, they saw the mom dad, the dog dad, they went and found a reputable breeder. It is harder and harder with more popular breeds to find those responsible breeders. So if you're looking to get a puppy, you've got to do your work and your research, and please do not assume you're going to be able to get one when you want it, because you probably won't. Now, on the flip side to that is the French Bulldog Rescue. So
I was going to ask you, is there one?
There is. It is FrenchBulldogRescue.org. They have all kinds of great FAQs there. You can learn all about everything you want to know about the breed. And
we learned a lot from there. Yeah,
we did. They have rescue dogs. So again, because they're popular and because sometimes people don't realize they really can't have a dog or shouldn't have a dog, or things come up in their lives and they can't take care of a dog, the French Bulldog Rescue is a great place to go and rescue a Frenchie. So that is always an option too, and that's an option that we would be very supportive of as well. So
yeah, well, I thought you did a wonderful job, by the way, on the interview, and I thought Frenchie did an incredible job purring. And
Frenchie,
just looking cool.
You mean Duncan?
I mean Duncan. I'm sorry, Duncan. Just looking cool, and I'm real excited that we were able to meet up with him and have a true internet star on our little podcast.
I know. And Diane was just wonderful. And we are on touch on Instagram. She's fabulous. Duncan, of course, is fabulous, but he can't type. So she's always typing the responses to me. So thank y'all for learning about the Frenchie today. And we'd love to hear about your Frenchies. So be sure to comment. Let us know about your dogs. And as always, like, share, subscribe. Help us get the word out about Dog Nerd Show so we can educate more people to be more responsible pet owners.
Until next time, bye, guys.
Bye.